have this vivid memory of sitting in the bathtub one time and just crying.
I think I punched my dad once.
You're not in charge of me right now. Like, you just won't leave me alone.
I had an epidural in my back, so I couldn't move very well.
She just wanted me to keep pushing and keep going.
Everybody had one. Like, if you didn't have one, you were looked down upon.
This is a show where teenagers share their experiences growing up in today's world. I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective. Hello, and welcome to A Teen's Perspective, helping parents see the future. I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and I have a great guest today. I have a senior in high school. She's 17 years old, and she's going to share with us one moment in her life that was very difficult. And this had to do with her best friend. So stay tuned to hear about that story. But before I welcome my guest, we first need to come up with a name because she is 17, so I do not want to share her identity. So if you were a top secret agent, what name would you want to be called?
A top secret agent? I have no idea.
So what about if you were a superhero? What name would you want to be called?
I don't know. I've never thought about being a superhero, like, with a name. I thought I would just, like, have my normal name. Like,
okay, I have a better one. What superpower would you want?
oh, I would probably want the ability to teleport places.
So a teleporter. So what name could we come up for a teleporter?
I have no idea.
How about Time Jumper?
Okay, that's cool.
All right, so we want to welcome Time Jumper to the show. We're going to start off, and I want you to share with us just your upbringing. Like, talk to us about your dad and your mom, and how was it being raised in your household?
Okay, I have my mom and dad, and I have my younger sister. She's 2 years younger than me, so she's a sophomore this year. And then I guess, like, I was born in a different state, so it was kind of like different. The vibe there is different. It's not the same as it is here. But, like, good upbringing, happy all the time. So everything was good. And then we moved to Texas, and my parents got divorced when we moved here.
Oh, okay. So share with us about that process. How old were you at the time?
I was in fourth grade.
Okay, fourth grade. So you moved here
Yeah.
from Iowa in fourth grade.
Yeah, like over the summer, like before fourth grade, we moved here. And then my parents got divorced, like, as soon as we moved here.
Okay, and how much of that experience do you remember?
Like, most of it, yeah.
Okay, so share with us exactly, like, what happened. Did they sit you guys down and share with you? Did you see it starting to develop?
Oh, well, like, my parents used to fight all the time, but then, like, we moved here. But before we moved, we used to go downtown, and we were at, like, the courthouse. I didn't know that. I look back at it now, and I'm like, oh, that's where we were. And they, like, got divorced and then told us once we moved.
So they brought you guys there, and then after it was official, they kind of set you guys down and just broke the news to you.
Yeah, my mom told us. My dad didn't tell us. It was my mom.
Oh, I see. And how did she, like, break the news?
I don't know. She just, like, told us, and we were really sad. Me and my sister cried so much.
Oh, man. So what are some thoughts that were going through your mind at the time?
I don't know. I was just really sad. I mean, now I'm, like, really grateful for it because, like, it's just not happy. But, like, I don't know. In the moment, it was just, like, it was so much, and I, like, didn't even really understand. So I didn't even really, like, understand what's happening, you know? Like, in fourth grade. Didn't really know. Right.
And your sister was in second grade.
Yes.
So did she kind of turn to you to get some insight or just to...
No, we fight. No.
You guys,
Yeah.
you guys just was in that fighting stage, I guess. What was the experience after that? Like, did they immediately, like, separate?
My mom lived upstairs for a while, and then, like, separate. Like, my dad had the master room. My mom, like, lived in our guest room for a while, and then my mom's friend came down from Iowa, and, like, they moved into an apartment together.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how did the visitation kind of work out with you guys? Did you spend more time with mom or dad?
I spent more time with my dad, but I'm just, like, closer to my dad, so.
Oh, I see. And what about your sister?
My sister's, like, kind of closer to my mom, so.
Oh, okay. So you guys found yourself spending more time the opposite parent.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. At what point did it really bother you? So you're in fourth grade, so I know you were sad, but how did that affect you in school?
In school, I got what's called like a pal in school. Like it's like a high schooler that like comes to the school and just like hangs out with you like 3 times a week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So do they give that PAL student to everyone, or is it just people who've
it's
been
like,
through?
It's just like people who are like going through hardship, or like kids who have like behavioral problems and stuff like that. They get like a PAL from the high school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you request one, or did the parents request it? How does it work?
It works through like, I think like the guidance counselor like knows what's going on with your life, and like they will like decide if you like need one and stuff. And like they like will see how you're doing the first few weeks of school too. Like if you like make friends right away, or like if you don't, they see that you're like struggling and that like you're going through other stuff at home too.
Got it.
Yeah.
What was your experience with the PAL?
I loved my PAL. It made me so happy. Like every day, like I was just like looking forward to it. It was so fun.
That's awesome. And this is in fourth grade?
Yeah.
Awesome. So how long did you keep the PAL?
You get it for like a school year, like for the school year.
Got it. And it's the same person the whole time. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you feel like that really helped as you went through that process?
Mm-hmm.
And then what about fifth grade?
What about fifth grade?
Did you find that it was still bothering you, the fact that your parents split in fifth grade?
Oh, yeah. It bothered me for a long time just because, like, my mom's apartment, like, it just made it such a task. My whole family's so lazy. And, like, literally to go to elementary school, we would have to get up and leave her house at, like, 6:30 in the morning. And, like, I was so not down to do that. So that was really triggering until my mom moved into a house.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So usually fifth grade, definitely middle school is when kids really find a lot of difficulties or challenges. Middle school is known to be the toughest transition a child would face.
Yeah.
So how did the fact that you had to like split your time between 2 households and combine that with all the other stresses in middle school, like how was that?
Was like really difficult sometimes, especially if I would like leave stuff at my other parents' house. And like I couldn't drive then, and it became really, really frustrating, the fact that I couldn't get my stuff, and like then I would like be behind and like not do stuff like for school, and I would get in trouble for it. But like I really can't do anything about it. I didn't know. Or like in cheer, they would like text the group chat. They would like text the group chat super late, being like, "Oh, don't forget to bring this." And I would be like, "I literally can't get that. Like I'm not in my house. And I can't go back and get it because that would mean my parents would have to take me, and they're just going to yell at me, and they don't want to do that." So,
Wow.
yeah.
So how did your parents make this transition of theirs comfortable for you guys?
I don't know. They just kind of like, they would always like be like pretty nice when they were like around each other and stuff, like around us. Like they would always like get along.
Oh, so that's good. So you guys didn't really see like the vindictive sides.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Now, describe the difference in your parents.
My dad is like the chillest, most amazing person in the entire world.
Yeah.
And my mom is like super uptight and annoying.
Oh, so you guys are going through that mother-daughter teenage experience.
But like I haven't gotten along with my mom for like a long time though. We don't get along very well.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. We just don't get along. We don't clash well. It's okay.
When did you first notice that?
Like a while ago. Like it's been like that. Like probably like since we moved here. Like a long time.
Oh, so right around the time they were having a divorce?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Do you blame your mom for the divorce?
No.
So describe then the dynamic. How do you, as a child, fourth grade, just realize like, hey, me and my mom just don't click, or our personalities are so
No,
different?
we would just like get into fights. Like we would just like fight over like everything. Like we would never like, there's never something that we would just like get along with or like agree to. We were just always fighting. Even when I was like little, we would like fight.
Interesting. And you noticed that consistently through like middle school, high school, even now.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think is the one thing that causes a lot of the disagreements? And
I don't know. I have different views on things than she does. So I don't know. Maybe she doesn't like my opinions, but like I'm entitled to my opinion. So
give me an example.
I don't know. It's just like dumb stuff. Like my mom like thinks that I need to get a flu shot. I don't believe in the flu shot. I think it's stupid. I think it's so stupid. Like I think it's the stupidest thing ever. And she gets into a giant heated argument with me over it whenever it happens. Like whenever we have that conversation, she gets so angry. And I'm like, Mom, like I literally just, you're just not agreeing. Like you just don't get it.
Now, do you notice that a lot of the arguments are associated with her trying to protect you or?
No.
Okay, because the flu shot, I'm sure from her perspective, she's thinking like, I don't want you to get sick.
Yeah, but I don't care. I'm fine. Like, I don't know.
So share with us another example of a time where your mom and you got into it and it wasn't related to your safety.
Like whenever I'm at my dad's, she like asks me all the time, like what I'm doing. And I'm like, you're not in charge of me right now. Like you just won't leave me alone. Like she just won't ever just leave me alone. Like I can't just be my own person, like ever. And she like tries to be super overprotective, but like, I don't want that. And so I'm just gonna like, I don't know.
So it sounds like it's a lot to do with your mom worried about you, wants the best for you. And
yeah, but I don't care. It's annoying and it just pisses me off.
I see. Okay.
So,
and what is your dad's role in all this? Like, 'cause I'm sure he noticed it that you two are not getting along. What is his role in that?
I don't know. We get along like all the time. Like, I don't know. It's just different. And he's really nice and he trusts me to do stuff. My mom doesn't trust me for no reason. My dad trusts me to do stuff. He lets me go and hang out with my friends. Like, for example, my dad is like super calm, will let me go out on weekends, do whatever. My mom, I have to be at her house by 7 p.m. and I can't leave after I get there. And I'm 17 years old. Like, that's really frustrating.
Have you guys ever had like this talk where you're like, hey, let's sit down?
Yeah, I've tried. Doesn't work.
And it doesn't work.
So I stopped putting in effort.
Interesting. And when do you think was the last time you put in effort towards you guys' relationship?
I don't know. I don't really care.
So talk to me about how your friends changed from the middle school, because you guys are still young, versus high school.
Yeah, my friends have changed a lot. I had some friends like going into 6th grade, and that was cool. I had classes with my friends, but then in 7th grade, I had no friends in any of my classes. So I was forced to like go out of my shell, like make friends, talk to people, be more like outgoing and loud and stuff. I mean, that then became a problem. So like, at least it was okay. Like I became like a better person for it.
In middle school, did you have the same friends from middle school to high school?
No.
So it's different friend groups?
Mm-hmm.
Because you moved in 4th grade and you've been consistently in the same place since then.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about your friends in middle school. And then did you guys just go to different high schools and that's why you guys separated?
No, like, I don't know. It's like one of my friends used to go to like one of my really close friends from middle school. We're like family friends. We're like friends through family. Like our dads are best friends. But like, I don't know. She like started going to a different school because she hated the school that we were at. But I love our school. So I don't know. But then like, I don't know. I just like, you just like evolve like, and like, you just evolve and you're no longer friends with certain people. It's just like how it works. I don't know how to describe like moving through groups of friends. It just like happens. Like you just move through groups of friends all the
more
time.
Like a common natural thing that just happens.
Yeah.
You see. Now, the new group of friends that you have.
Yeah.
When did you guys first start being friends?
Well, the people that I like hang out with all the time now, one of the reasons I get to hang out with like one group of people is because my like best friend is like really close with all of these people. So.
And his best friend, how did you guys meet?
We met in school in one of our classes. I'm pretty sure we like met in middle school, but we became friends sophomore year.
Okay. And you noticed like an immediate connection?
Like we would just like do school stuff together all the time. I don't know. And then like we had a project and we like hung out outside of school and then we started like hanging out after then. And we had like 2 classes together.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And she started introducing you to other friends.
We would just like hang out ourselves. And then like we like also just had other friends that we were both friends with.
So that makes sense. So you have your friends. So when did you first start falling in love with cheer?
In the 5th grade.
Wow.
Yes.
So you've been cheering since the 5th grade.
Yes.
And what drew you to cheer?
My sister started when I was in the 5th grade, but I cheered in 6th grade, like from then on until last year. Yeah.
And what about cheer excites you the most?
I don't know. It's just like the making all of the friends. Like I've made so many close friends that like I'm still friends with now. Like one of my friends, like I met her in 7th grade and we're still friends. Like it's just, it's really nice.
And do you feel that cheer still has the same stereotype?
100%.
Oh, it does.
Yes, 100%.
And how do you feel about the stereotype?
I hated, like, I hate most of the people in cheer. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love some of my friends that I have, but there's like only like 3 of them that are like nice, genuine people. I hate everyone else. They all
I
suck.
see. And so you've been doing cheer since 6th grade. And talk to me about high school, because I mean, I know your high school.
It's so different. It's just so different. Like when you first start, like, it's so fun and you look forward to it every day. And like when I was in middle school, I used to think like there'd be these girls like quitting their high school team, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, it's so amazing. And now I just get it. Like in like 6th and 7th grade and 8th grade, like it was just so fun. Like it was just with your friends and it was just so much fun. Like it was so different. And then all of a sudden you get to high school and it's so competitive, like so competitive that it's no longer fun. Like it becomes a task. It's no longer something that you enjoy going to go do. It's like a task and it makes you like unhappy.
Yeah,
and
it makes
like
sense.
I just completely didn't understand why people were like quitting, but now I get it. Like the coaching kind of sucks. Like they pick favorites intensively, and like I've never been a favorite, so that's not good. And then like that just makes it like not fun. And then like just other people, like really getting to know these people and realizing that they're not nice, or they just like suck, also makes it less fun. And like the pressure every single day makes it less fun too. We would have to retry out every single week just to cheer at the football game. Well, dude, I already tried out to make the team. Why do I have to redo it every single week just to cheer at a game? Like that's just supposed to be part of what I'm like doing, like as I made the team. Like I don't understand. And that really sucked every week too. Like
Wow.
it just
Yeah.
like I didn't get it, and then I went through high school and I was like, I get it. It kind of sucks.
Wow, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that some of the instructors will show favorites or
Yeah.
pick their favorites. How obvious is that? Like, how do you
No,
know?
it's so obvious. They will hang out like in her classroom. Like our coaches like teach subjects also at school. Like they will hang out in their classroom like every day, like before school, during like pit, which is like our like study hall period, all the time. Or like they'll always be like in the front, or and they'll talk to her all the time about like their personal lives and stuff. And like you can just tell like if they're way closer, they're probably a favorite. They're gonna get picked more to like do everything.
And did you notice that they were getting picked for a lot of things?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Did you guys ever mention that to the teachers or to anyone?
Oh yeah, I used to tell my guidance counselor about it last year. It was so funny. I would just go into her office and like complain about cheer, and we would just like talk, and she'd be like, "That's so screwed up. Like they need to fix that." Like it was really fun.
So how does a guidance counselor work in school? Like everyone has access to them?
Yeah, everyone has one. They're like assigned by your last name. I worked as a student aide in the counseling office last year, so like if I ever wanted to go talk to my counselor, I could, and like we did stuff for them. So if I was ever just having a bad day or a bad week, I could just go in and talk to her like during my time period where I was supposed to be in there anyway. So it's like,
Oh, I see. So it makes sense. And when you're telling her about the favoritism and all that, it's kind of out of her hands in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's more so she's kind of listening
Yeah.
to you vent.
yeah,
Okay. And you find that to be helpful?
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you made the cheer team, and you said you guys had to constantly try out just to cheer.
Yeah, like it just sucked.
So
It made it so awful. Like it made it no longer fun. But having to do all of these tasks that are stressful makes it not fun.
what did they tell you was a reason that they wanted you guys to try out every single week?
I don't know. They were just like to make sure you're still like keeping up with your skills and stuff. But like I feel like that's stupid. Like it's just stupid and pointless. Like if it makes everyone miserable and not want to be there, why would you do that?
And describe how big this cheer squad is.
There's like 45 people on the whole entire program. There's like 20 girls on JV. There's like 25 on varsity.
Oh, okay. And as far as for the varsity, how do you make it to be a varsity?
There's like a ton of requirements to make it. You have to have certain tumbling skills. You have to get certain numbers of like points on like different categories of your cheer tryout. There's so much.
And did you go through both? Like, did you make it to JV and to the varsity?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. And did you notice, as far as fun level, is there a difference between fun as far as a JV level versus a varsity level?
Yeah, it's just like JV was kind of more fun just because like nothing is serious. Everything was just kind of like whatever. No one was taking it like full on serious. And then like with varsity, people take it so serious, and like everyone's just so competitive for no reason, or like cares about it so much when like there's no reason to care that much. Like there's no point in like caring that much about this, that like this doesn't matter. Like in like 2 years when I'm not on the team and I look back and I'm like, wow, that was so not important at all.
And what are your thoughts about the academics? Because I know the school you go to, and it's a very, very competitive school. So what are your feelings about that school?
Yeah, the academics are really competitive. I don't think they're that bad though. I do okay in school. Just okay, like average. I do fine. That's okay.
Yeah, and you're a senior, so that means you had to contemplate the decision to either go to college or not go to college. So talk to us about that process.
I'm going to college. I want to go to college really badly.
Congratulations. And do you already know which college you're going to?
I got into Texas Tech, so.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the process of choosing a college.
Yeah, that's really stressful. I don't know. I went on a lot of college visits, and college visits help a lot. Like they really help. I really didn't think that they would help, but they help so much. Like you just got to get the vibe of like everything there. And once you know, you just know. And that sounds so stupid, but like once you just like know, you know where you want to go.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like dating. It's like when you just meet that person, you just know. So
yeah.
What was your parents' role in you either going to the college and helping you choose a college?
Both my parents want me to go to college. They didn't tell me that I had to go anywhere or anything though. They just let me choose where I wanted to go.
Oh, so that was nice.
Yeah.
So they didn't kind of sway you towards one college or
No,
another?
they tried, but I told them that I would rather like go to community college than go to Iowa. So
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
they both wanted you to go to Iowa.
yeah, that's not happening. Won't happen ever. No. No. I refuse.
And how far away is Texas Tech from here?
It's like a 6.5 hour drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's some distance.
Yeah.
So it probably will not be you coming home every week.
No. Why would I do that?
Believe it or not, I went to school about 45 minutes from where I grew up. Probably the first 6 months, I literally went home every single week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have a very close relationship with my mom, and I was I just
yeah.
wanted to be home. So yeah, talk to us about, because you made it through the toughest part. I would say it's very stressful from what I hear, is application process, like applying to these schools.
Yeah. Applications suck just because like I suck at English. So writing essays is not my forte. So that really makes it stressful. And then like some stuff like is just time consuming. Like it's really not that bad. Like some things are just very straightforward. It just takes a lot of time and you have to like go through the whole process of doing it. But it's just like the essays that make things stressful. The essays and like short answer questions, people like overthink them and get like overly stressed out about them. But like just write an original essay, talk about yourself. They want to hear about you. They don't want to hear about like someone else in your life. They don't want to hear about other stuff. They just want to hear about you. They just want to get to know you.
Yeah, so it sounds like you made it through that process pretty easily. All right, so I really want to talk about what we shared at the beginning of the show was about this tough experience you had to go through last year involving one of your friends. So talk to us about that.
Me and my friend have been friends for like 6 years. We met in 6th grade and then we stopped being friends. We kind of just drifted and stopped being friends. She got a boyfriend and then just kind of stopped talking and hanging out with me all the time. Like we were so close. Like we would spend every single day together, like every day.
Yeah. So you guys are like spending all of your time together, texting, hanging out. And then I'm sure you guys talked about the guy that she's dating, right? Like you're like, hey, I like this guy.
No, yeah, I don't like him. Like I hated him. And like I would like be nice and like pretend that I liked him and whatever. And then like they would get into a fight and they like broke up. And I like told her how I like did not like him. And she was like, I know, like I wasted my summer like hanging out with him. Like I should not have like done that. I should have just listened to you. And then she got back together with him. And then like she was like kind of pissed off at me for that. And I'm like, dude, you literally broke up with him. I told you how I actually felt about him. And then you got back together with him. What the heck?
Oh, I see. Whenever she first started talking about dating, like a guy that she liked, because prior to that, neither one of you were dating anyone.
No.
So it was just pretty much all of your time was together. And then the minute she starts to tell you, I'm interested in a guy, like what were your initial thoughts?
I was like really supportive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't one of the situations on Lion King whenever it's Pumbaa and Timon are like...
Yeah. No, he's like not, he's just not a good guy. Like he's just not a good guy at all. She just wouldn't believe me. So I'm just saying he's not a good guy. He's weird too. He's just weird.
So at the beginning you were supportive and then did you help her like land the guy?
No.
Or they kind of just did it, on their own?
Yeah.
Okay. So they started dating. You're still supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And then at what point did you start to feel like on Lion King, Timon and Pumbaa were talking about their trios down to two?
Yeah. After I hung out with them a few times, I was just like, he's really weird. Like, he's just, I don't like the vibe I get from him. I'm not feeling it. And like everyone at school was like, he's not a good person. Like, he is not good, or like all this stuff. And like, he's a year older than her. So he was a senior and she was like a junior. And it was just like sketchy business. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't necessarily that you noticed that she was pulling away. You just didn't like the guy and you were worried about her.
And she was pulling away too, like to go spend more time with him. But like, I thought that he was a terrible person, but like she was still choosing to spend all of her time with him.
Interesting. So if you thought he was like an amazing guy, would it have been as tough to lose her?
No, that would have been better. It would have been better.
So a lot of it has to do with him.
Yeah. Most friendships end because of a guy. Guys, just saying.
That's actually pretty common. So you're right. I mean, I hear that so much that like two people could be so close, spend all their time together, and then they start dating and then they pull away. How long into the relationship did you notice that you guys' friendship was in jeopardy?
Once they've been dating for like 6 months, like they started dating in January of sophomore year. And like by like the summer, we like went on a trip to Florida together. But then like after that trip, we were so much more distant. Like we were like each other's like best friends. Like we would hang out all the time. And then like she would go and hang out with her boyfriend. So I would like go hang out with some of my other friends. And I loved hanging out with them. Like they were really nice and awesome and so much more like positive. And it was like weird because she had just changed so much. And I wanted to be with these other people so much more. Like they were more fun. We would do more fun stuff. Like I felt like wanted around them. Like I felt like way better. And so I would hang out with them like all the time. And then all of a sudden it would be like multiple weeks between like us like hanging out, and I would be like we were like drifting apart from each other.
Got it. So it was more of a gradual process.
Yeah.
And it sounds like in the process you found another group of friends that you started hanging out with.
Yeah, and I really liked hanging out with them. Like they made me really happy. Like it was really fun. Like they were all really fun.
Did you notice any jealousy or envy from her part seeing you with those other friends? Yeah,
because like we would like want to party together. But she would be hanging out with her boyfriend instead. So I would go hang out with these other people that were so much more fun and that wanted me to like hang out with them. And I felt just so much more like loved by all of them than like with my best friend at the time.
So share with us the official like breakup. Like this is, we're no longer friends.
We just kind of like mutually just kind of like stopped being friends. Like I started feeling used. Like she would ask me for rides to school every day, even though we wouldn't hang out anymore. We just like really weren't friends. And she would still just like ask me for rides to school. And I felt like kind of used in a way. I was like, I feel like you're just using me to get rides places. And I don't like feeling that way. And so I just like kind of like stopped. And then we just kind of like stopped really talking for a while. And then like, oh, this is so complex. Anyway. Yeah. So like then like later in the school year, we like started talking to each other again and something. And then she told me something like she broke up with her boyfriend. She broke up with him and they got into this huge argument. They broke up and she was like, yeah, like I'm planning like revenge. Like I'm going to ruin his life. Like this plan is already in motion. And I was like, dude, what the like what the, she's like planning on ruining his life. What the heck? Like, why are you doing that? So me being a good person, I told like one of his like super close friends being like, you need to tell him like she's crazy and that he needs to just like get away, like stop feeding into her fire. Like you got to get him away from her. Like it's unsafe. Like just, you got to like get away. And then she got really pissed off at me for that. She got really, really pissed off at me for that. But I'm like, I feel like I was in the right in this situation. I'm just trying to help someone out and you're kind of crazy. You're really crazy. So I now realize like I got myself out of a toxic relationship in a way. I'm okay with that.
And after that situation happened, that was like the official, like, you guys are
like
done.
we would just get in arguments about things like, yeah.
And have you guys spoken to each other since? Oh, so it's like official.
Yeah.
Like, no hope.
And I don't want to deal with her either. She is crazy. I am okay with not being friends.
Wow.
So many people don't like her. And when I was friends with her, like she held me back from being able to make so many friends. Like I know so many people that are like, oh, didn't you used to be friends with this person? And I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm not anymore though. Like I moved past that.
So let's then talk about your new group of friends because you say that they're loving and they
I
want
love
to be
them.
around you.
Yeah.
So let's
They're just so fun.
and share with the dynamic because you mentioned it's a big group of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many?
I don't know. Like it's just kind of like a big group. We always hang out like in large groups.
Oh, really? So it's like always a big group of people.
Yeah.
So you don't really see like cliques within the group?
Yeah, there are cliques within the group because like, there's like all the guys and they do like random like guy stuff too. Like sometimes like just like stupid stuff, Like one time we were like all hanging out and like at a party and they just went outside and like ran and like did push-ups in the street and I was just like, that's not my thing.
Oh, it's funny. That sounds like something that guys would do.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just kind of random, but it's really fun.
So how long have you guys been friends?
Probably like a year now.
Okay, now have you guys started to talk about the fact that everyone is about to disperse with college?
Well, I don't know. Most of them are all going to the same school next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which school is that?
Texas Tech. They're all going to Texas.
Oh, so you guys are all going to,
yeah.
is that like, did that help you choose Texas Tech?
No, I like didn't want to go to Texas Tech. And then I had like an emotional breakdown about leaving my friends and applied to go there. But then now it's like so much more appealing because like my friends that I really like are going there versus like I also got into Arkansas and like all the people that I don't like on the cheer team, like all these people that I hate, they're all going there and I don't want to go deal with that. And like so many people from my school go to Arkansas. I kind of want like a newer start.
Got it. So you want just a fresh start and to be around people that you really care about.
Yeah.
So are you guys like planning this big, like, the room together and all that?
Some people are. I don't know. It's kind of all just like up. Some people I still need to apply to college, so
As a senior?
yeah.
Wow. Okay. And what major are you going to pursue?
I'm going in undecided. I don't know what
Okay.
I want to do
And
yet.
what right now like interests you? What is like your newfound passion? Like,
I don't really have one right now. Don't really have passion.
So hobbies, interest.
I watch TV. I'm currently watching Breaking Bad. It's really good. Makes me want to learn how to cook meth. Just seems kind of fun.
What? So right now, your life consists of hanging out with a group of friends,
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
You're on the cheer team still,
Yeah.
and watching shows,
Yeah.
and then hang out with your dad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. And next year, you foresee it being kind of the same thing, right? Like it's like college. You probably won't be on the cheer in college.
No,
Okay,
no.
so you're not doing cheer in college.
I want to rush for a sorority. And,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So do you already have an idea of which sorority?
Yeah, I do. So like I'm
That's
excited,
cool.
Yeah.
And at your age,
But you're supposed to go in with an open mind, thinking that you want like you don't have any like specific one you want to go into. You got to go into it with an open mind.
and how did you already like start liking this one fraternity?
I just like I have a ton of friends in it. I don't know. It's really weird, but like you're supposed to go into it with an open mind. So like I guess you shouldn't really have one that you like really want because you're supposed to go into it like open-minded, thinking that you could get into any of them. So kind of gotta stay with that mindset. Even though like you have somewhere you probably want to go, you gotta think like you want the open mindset about it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I'm in a fraternity, and in high school, it's when I first started hearing about fraternities. And I had a few of my cousins, older cousins, they were in one fraternity. So I thought like, okay, I'm gonna go into this fraternity because that's all I know about. I didn't know about the rest of them. And then I get to college
Yeah.
and I play basketball. So I'm playing with the guys from another fraternity and we clicked. So immediately I'm thinking, I want to go for this other fraternity. And I was able to get in and do all that stuff. So it's been fun. And we're still like close to this day. Honestly, if I had to share about my experience in college, the fraternity life was the highlight of my
Yeah.
college. So it's kind of cool that you're joining that. Because most people
Yeah.
think fraternities, they get a bad name, but we actually had like a great relationship. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I'm really excited. So
Yeah, I'm excited for you. In my fraternity, we actually did step shows. So I used to be like, do all the steps, and that was kind of cool. And I always joke, because when we get together, like in my wedding, we all got together and we were doing steps in my wedding.
Oh,
so
that's cute.
yeah, it's like a lifelong friendship.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So before I let you go, I do want to hear you share about your overall experience as a teenager looking back. Because I mean, you're 17. about to go to college next year. What have you learned in all of these years that can serve you moving forward?
For some advice, I got this advice and I didn't use it to try hard my freshman year of high school. I literally thought that they were joking when they said that, but I literally when I got my tour of the high school, they were like, "Oh, try your freshman year." I regret the one thing I regret the most is not trying that hard my freshman year. And yeah, I also regret not trying that hard my freshman year. I seriously should have just tried. That is my advice to someone just out there. But if when I look back, I really enjoyed high school a lot. Really enjoyed it. Really did. I have some friends who hate it a lot, and I really enjoyed it. Good experience.
That's
Preparing
awesome.
me for life.
Trying hard freshman year is the key, so do it.
Yeah.
What insight can you share with a younger student who may be at odds with their parents? What can you share on that aspect of it?
You can always get through it, and that you should just turn to your friends, because that's what they're there for. They're there for you when your family isn't there for you. They're there for you. Or when you need help with other problems, they're there for you. You can always turn to your friends. You should have good enough friends that you can turn to them when you need help. And if you don't, then you should go make some better friends. I'm not gonna lie, you probably have bad friends and should go make new ones.
When it comes to teenagers, coaching is so effective because we use proven techniques that help teens identify goals and develop actionable plans to achieve them. If you're a parent and you want to learn how to use these coaching techniques to coach your own teen, visit us at coachyourteen.com. Time Jumper shared her perspective as it relates to vaccines. So parents, I have a question for you. Would you allow your teen to make the decision whether they get vaccines or not? We would love to hear your perspective, so make sure you join our Facebook group, and you can find us by searching A Teen's Perspective. There's much to discuss in this interview, but what I want to share with you is how to improve your relationship. So this would require a relationship that is a healthy relationship, because this is pretty much a mature conversation that you're going to have with your teenager. And it's all about button pushing. So we all know that teens can push buttons. But parents, I want you to know that you can also push your teens' buttons. So the way that you remove all buttons in a relationship is having a conversation about buttons. And I'm going to tell you how to have that conversation. So first off, you want to save some time to talk to your teen. So this should not be in passing. It needs to be more of a sit-down conversation. It could be in the car. It could be just whenever you guys have time to talk about it. And this works really, really well, like I said, with a healthy relationship. So if you and your teen are not talking at all, this is probably not one of the things you want to start off with first. In fact, when I'm coaching relationships between parents and their teens, this is later on. This is not usually what I lead off with. The way you want to do this is you want to sit down with your teenager and you allow your teenager to go first. And what you ask your teenager is to identify all the buttons. You may have to explain that to them because they may not understand the terminology, but essentially it's the things that you do as a parent that makes them so mad, that ticks them off. And I'm sure they have a long list of that. We actually want to just focus on one at a time. So tell them just give you one for now and you can work on the other ones. So you identify the buttons. So I'll use a real life example. One of the teens that I was coaching, she hated that she had to check in so much. I think she was 16 and she had her license. She was driving or a permit, one of the two. But the point is, she did not enjoy having to check in. She had to check in when she left school. She had to check in when she went to a friend's house. She had to check in if she was going to be over her friend's house for longer than an hour, just to say that, hey, we're okay. Then she had to check in when she was on her way home. And then if her parents were not home, she had to let them know that she was home. So it literally drove her insane. And that was the button that she identified. So the next step is to ask her teen, how are you interpreting that? So what that means is the fact that you have to check in, what interpretation are you having? Well, the teen identified that it makes her feel that her parents did not trust her, because obviously if the way she felt is that if they trusted her, she wouldn't have to check in as much, right? So this is the key question to end all buttons. And just so you know, if you have a button, it's more about you and not about the person that's pressing it. So that's important to know. because buttons are all about interpretations. Just because the other person is doing something or saying something, that's not what really is pushing your button. It's how you're interpreting what they're doing or saying. So the key question after you found out how your teen is interpreting the button, your action, I should say, is what's another possible interpretation? And that will require your teen to kind of think a little bit. So in this case, the example I shared with you about the checking in with her parents, another interpretation she came up with was that maybe her parents are concerned about her safety. If she believed that to be true, it changes everything. Because it's one thing to think about my parents do not trust me. So that makes me mad. I'm frustrated. But it's another thing to think about if my parents are concerned about my safety. Because as a loving parent, that's actually very normal. So then the final question is, how will you choose to view and respond next time? Right? So that's the final question. Just because you had this epiphany, right, that maybe is not about trust, but it's about love, how then will you choose to view it and respond next time? And that will completely get rid of the button. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It will take some time of reminding herself to connect the idea that typing and texting her parents has more to do with the love and concern from her parents. It doesn't have to do with trust. And the act of texting is not that big of a deal because, come on now, what you want to share with your teens is that there's a recent study that showed that teenagers are on their phone 8 hours a day. So it's like a full-time job. So we know the actual act of texting is not the problem. It was the interpretation. And the teen agreed. And now she no longer has that button. Well, I hope this interview will help in some way with the relationship between you and your teen. Thank you for listening, and thank you so much for all your support. Please review, rate, and subscribe, and share with a friend. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective.